The U.S. deported him by mistake. Now the fight to bring a Maryland man to the United States has taken yet another turn. We'll have the details.
Adjunct professors rally at the School of Cinematic Arts, demanding the university to come to the bargaining table.
And we go to Rome, Italy to find out what locals have to say about this weekend's visit by Vice President Vance.
Annenberg TV News is next.
A federal judge says there is probable cause to hold the Trump administration for criminal contempt of court for failing to return a Maryland man deported to El Salvador. Hi, I'm Sebastian Soto.
And I'm Daniella Lake. We turn now to our politics anchor, Lucca Chrysostomou, with the details.
Thanks, guys. Welcome back to Politics in Play. After wrongfully deporting El Salvador immigrant Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Trump administration has refused to correct their mistake. Attorney General Pam Bondi doubled down.
He is not coming back to our country. President Bukele said he was not sending him back. That's the end of the story. If he wanted to send him back, we would give him a plane ride back. There was no situation ever where he was going to stay in this country. None. But he's from El Salvador, he's in El Salvador, and that's where the president plans on keeping him.
Abrego Garcia was deported last month, accused of being an MS-13 gang member. But Garcia has been granted a legal work permit by the Department of Homeland Security and has never been convicted or charged with a crime.
I want to emphasize that President Trump and our Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Vice President of the United States are lying when they say that Abrego Garcia has been charged with a crime or is part of MS-13. That is a lie.
Today, a U.S. judge ruled that the Trump administration could be in criminal contempt of court for ignoring orders to stop sending deportees to a prison in El Salvador.
This case is about the government unlawfully and admitting to unlawfully removing a gentleman from this country, from Maryland, from his home, his family, his children, and taking no actions, no meaningful steps to fix that, as ordered by the Supreme Court in a unanimous decision.
In today's ruling, the Chief Judge of Washington's federal court wrote, quote, "The Constitution does not tolerate willful disobedience of judicial orders." That's it for Politics in Play. Back to you, Daniella.
The SCA Adjunct Professors Union gathered today at SCA to file an unfair labor complaint for not bargaining in good faith in their continued fight for better contracts and health insurance. The message from adjunct faculty, quote, "No contract, no changes. We demand that the administration immediately halt all unilateral changes and bargain in good faith with our union."
We found out 2 months later that she had a rare congenital heart, a defect. And having health insurance kept my daughter alive. So when I heard that they were taking away health insurance, they started doing a new one-class policy here. They started taking away health insurance from people who were already underpaid. I thought that was horrific. I thought that was wrong.
We've been trying to have a union and get a fair contract and fair pay for the last year. 92% of the people in the School of Cinema voted for it, and USC could care less.
In a statement, the university says, quote, "There have been no substantive change in the School of Cinematic Arts' annual process for making appointment decisions. We remain committed to continuing to bargain with the union in good faith to reach an agreement."
The USG Senate slashed more than $81,000 from its 2026 budget. The new budget includes a 12% cut in funding for programming assemblies. Next year's budget has decreased 1.65% from this year, totaling over $2 million for the budget as a whole. The biggest cuts came to the Black Student Assembly and Queer and Ally Student Assemblies, each losing around $14,000. President-elect Michaela Bautista told the Daily Trojan the budget is expected to decrease due to next year's lower enrollment. The assemblies declined to comment on the cuts.
Today, Governor Gavin Newsom and Attorney General Rob Bonta filed a lawsuit against President Trump. The lawsuit challenges Trump's use of emergency powers to impose tariffs.
The uncertainty is pronounced and it is profound in the state of California. Consider just the imports coming from Mexico, Canada, and China. 44% of all of the imports into the state of California alone come from just those three countries.
The lawsuit argues that President Trump's use of the International Economic Emergency Powers Act to impose tariffs is, quote, unlawful and unprecedented.
I don't see necessarily anything coming out of the lawsuit. I think it has a lot of complex legal issues. But at the end of the day, you're trying to get Congress to rein in the president, and Congress is showing an inability and an unwillingness to rein in the president.
A statement from the governor's office notes that Trump's tariffs have, quote, inflicted billions in damages on California's economy, the fifth largest economy in the world. This weekend, Vice President J.D. Vance will be visiting Europe. Foreign correspondent Sophie Sullivan has more on how Italians feel about American politics.
In just 2 days on Friday, Vice President J.D. Vance will embark on a 7-day journey. His first stop, Rome, Italy. In addition to seeing the Vatican, Easter Sunday, and Holy Week activities with his family, he'll also be stopping here. This is Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's office, where we expect that Vance and Meloni will be discussing the tariffs that Donald Trump has imposed on the European Union.
Sharing many of his conservative values, Meloni has one of the best relationships with Trump of any country's politicians, and was the only leader in the EU invited to his inauguration. Some think she is Europe's best shot at getting Trump to rethink his tariffs. Ahead of her and Vance's visits, we asked Italians what they think of the two administrations and what these meetings mean for their economy.
Trump
is a somewhat peculiar character who is currently creating a lot of turmoil in the financial markets, and everyone is paying the consequences now.
Oh, I adore Vance.
I love Vance. I like him to death because he is a true vice president, how he speaks and how he acts.
Mi dispiace molto per gli americani perché non potranno più mangiare il nostro parmigiano.
I feel very sorry for the Americans because they will not be able to eat our Parmesan, to enjoy our clothes, our elegance, our jewelry, our best things from shoes to cars.
Deve essere più equilibrato.
Donald Trump must be more balanced and is too much against other states. He must be kinder to other states that love America.
Io non sono d'accordo con i dazi che vuole attuare Trump.
I do not agree with the tariffs that Trump wants to implement because instead I believe it is much fairer to continue to collaborate as America has always done with Europe.
After Vance's weekend here in Rome, he'll head to India with his wife and children before heading back to Washington, D.C. For Annenberg Media, I'm Sophie Sullivan.
UCLA has released its annual LA County Quality of Life Survey. Satisfaction among residents is at its lowest point for the second year in a row. The overall trend was that the respondents' satisfaction with living in LA County decreased by 10 points from 2016 to 2024. Respondents were most unhappy about the cost of living, public safety, and transportation, and most happy about their neighborhoods and LA's diversity. We asked students some of the same questions.
I like living in LA better than I did in NorCal because I feel like there's always something to do. Like, you can always just go somewhere, have fun.
Just LA as a whole welcomes a lot of different, new people, new cultures, new ideas.
Biggest negative? Prices are pretty bad.
Rent here is exorbitantly expensive. Food is
Only 55% of respondents are optimistic about their future in LA County. The researcher who created the survey told Annenberg Media he's not confident in local government's ability to change the results. LA 28 announced the list of venues for the 2028 Olympics. Athletes will compete in more than 40 locations across Southern California. The venues included USC's Galen Center, the Universal Studios lot, and the Long Beach Convention Center. Events will also take place in San Clemente, Orange County, and the San Fernando Valley. More venues for the Olympics and Paralympics will be announced later. The 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games will take place next July and August. LA 28's no-build venue policy is expected to save the city $150 million in its projected budget for the Olympics.
Coming up, we take a look at one organization helping people with disabilities recover in the aftermath of the fires.
And sustainability leaders spoke to USC students about what actions the university is taking toward a greener future.
And more sunshine is on the way. Take a look at our 5-day weather forecasts coming up. The 4th annual Student Sustainability Town Hall is just wrapping up at the Davidson Continuing Education Center. Reporter Payton May is there. Payton, what can you tell us?
That's right. The Presidential Working Group on Sustainability and the Environmental partnered up for today's town hall event. Here, students got to ask questions towards sustainability leaders here at USC about what actions the university and its leaders have taken working towards a more sustainable and greener future. The event started with remarks from President Carol Folt, who has championed the issue of sustainability throughout her term. Panelists also included USC's Chief Sustainability Officer, the Viterbi School of Engineering's Vice Dean for Research, and the Sustainability Practice Director. The event concluded with forward-thinking remarks from the panelists who explained that USC continues to work towards a more sustainable future with their initiatives, including USC's Sustainability Hub, which opened last year, as well as working towards a no carbon footprint by the end of 2025. Back to you in the studio.
Welcome to Advocacy in Action, a series where we take a look inside organizations supporting people with disabilities. First, an organization in Pasadena that helps people with disabilities in everyday life and was especially helpful after the Eden Fire in Altadena. When flames from the Eden Fire closed in on Altadena, the Wallace family had extra reason to worry. Their daughter, Irma, has cerebral palsy. Her wheelchair was destroyed in the fire.
And can't walk, can't talk, and she can't feed herself. We got out of there safe, but we lost everything.
They've been going to the Convalescent Aid Society in Pasadena for 40 years. It's an organization that helps people with disabilities get the medical equipment they need for free.
It's made our life 100% better with regards to my daughter.
Wheelchairs, walkers, medical beds, you name it. CEO Mark Watterson said there's over 30,000 pieces out on loan to families like the Wallaces. A mural on the side of the building marks their 100 years of service to the Pasadena community.
And the fact that we're still going strong, I think speaks really well to the support that we've had and to the value that we provide the community.
Watterson also served as part of Pasadena's Accessibility and Disability Commission, which advises the city on eliminating barriers and improving access for people with disabilities.
Accessibility and Disability Commission has done a lot of really good things, and it goes beyond just making sure that curbs have access at street lights, or we've got ramps in different places, or buildings have ADA bathrooms. Like, that's the bare minimum. In an inclusive society, you think about how can everyone have sort of an equal access to all the things that your community provides.
Next week, we'll meet another disability advocate who's working towards making literacy accessible for all.
CARE SC hosted CareFest today at Founders Park in recognition of Sexual Violence Awareness Month. The event focused on care and consent on campus. Attendees learned about safe intervention and self-care. Some also walked away with free care kits that included sheet masks, candy, and other goodies. Students talked about the importance of being an upstander on campus.
I think it's important because
This probably attracted more people than I'd say the online course did.
Learning kind of what they were advocating for, I think it's a really important cause, so I decided to stop by and support and get engaged with it.
We want you to be equipped with ways that you can respond, reach out and help in that moment, or even get other people to assist you in helping that person.
Year-round, 24 hours a day, students can access crisis support and confidential advocacy through CARE SC. CareFest is just a small part of the services they offer. And it has been a beautiful sunny day on campus. Now let's toss it over to Kat to see what we can expect for the rest of the week.
Thank you so much, Sebastian. Hello, USC, and welcome back to Weather with Kat. I'm your host, Kat Yee. Let's take a look at our current conditions. It is currently 62 degrees and cloudy outside with 54% humidity. Now let's head over to our 5-day forecast. Tomorrow will be cloudy with a high of 61 and a low of 51 degrees. Friday will be cloudy with a high of 63 and a low of 51 degrees. Saturday will be sunny with a high of 74 and a low of 50 degrees. Sunday will be sunny with a high of 76 degrees and a low of 51 degrees. And Monday will be sunny with a high of 74 and a low of 52 degrees. Now let's see this week's Song of the Week. Guys, it was just too hard to pick just one song of the week. So this week I picked Charli XCX as the Artist of the Week in honor of the greatest weekend of my life at Coachella. As I predicted on last week's show, Charli did bring out Lorde and Billie Eilish and Troye Sivan. And I actually got to meet Charli on Sunday, and I'm like low-key still recovering. And I stand by this, she should have been the headliner on Sunday. I'm counting down the days until Coachella 2026. That's all for the weather. Over to you.
All right, thanks, Kat. Get in, Trojans. We're hopping on the track. Find out who picked up big honors this week. From the track to the mound, USC baseball back at the crib, bringing a grand momentum with them. We got more hoops. We're turning the page right into the transfer portal season. See the biggest names who are seeking new programs, all next in sports.
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Kasey Kazliner.
And I'm Dominque Williams.
Coming off an Elite Eight loss, the USC women's basketball team brought in their first transfer portal player, adding veteran guard Kara Dunn, who spent 3 seasons at Georgia Tech. Her commitment comes at an opportune time as USC lost key guards Avery Howell and Kaylee Heckel to the portal. Dunn led the 22-11 Yellow Jackets in scoring with 15.5 points per game and nearly 6 rebounds. Her stellar season earned her All-ACC first-team honors. She's known as a sound defender, a solid shooter, and a big presence on the offensive glass. Dunn has improved each year since beginning her college career and could complement incoming freshman guard Jazzy Davidson nicely in the backcourt. With Juju Watkins injured, the women of Troy will need all the depth they can get. They also still lack true size in the middle. Dunn is a solid addition, but what else do they need heading into next season when they look at the portal?
I mean, taking a look at the depth, I mean, like you mentioned, in size, I mean, even just in the shooting offense, like I think Malaysia Fawali, who's still in the transfer portal, could be a big factor. And a second player I wanted to mention is Asia Harris. She's from East LA College, so out of that JUCO, she brings great size, could play through 1 through the 4, and she's averaged 12 points in the JUCO season, so I think that will also help, and someone to buy in from a local aspect too.
Yeah, I think you need a facilitating forward because you lose a facilitator in Talia von Olhoffen and you lose your 2 bigs, of course, with Rhea Marshall going and then Kiki Iriafen who plays, can play the 4. So I think you certainly want to look at the bigger players, 6'2", 6'3" type players. So. Head coach Lindsey Gottlieb will surely stay busy as she prepares to fill the gaping holes in USC's roster.
USC Trojans continues to show why they are the big steppers on the track. 4 athletes earned Big Ten weekly honors announced by the conference Wednesday morning. Over the weekend, USC Track and Field competed at Texas A&M 44 Farms Team Invitational. Men's Track Athlete of the Week, Max Thomas, won the 100-meter dash with a personal record of 9.92. Women's Field Athlete of the Week, Ashley Irmaras, the Big Ten's leading women's shot putter, snagged the victory with setting the meet record with a mark of 17.63 meters. Women's Freshman of the Week, Brianna Selby, won the women's 100-meter dash title with a PR of 11.11, and Women's Track Athlete of the Week, Madison White, won both the 200 and 400-meter races. The Trojans program has had athletes earn 12 of the first 26 Big Ten weekly honors.
USC baseball lost last night to Hawaii despite leading into the 9th inning. Bryce Martin Grudzalanek provided USC's only true offensive spark against the Rainbow Warriors. The shortstop slugged a grand slam in the third inning, but the Trojans didn't score the rest of the game. Ben Ziegler-Namoa won the game for Hawaii in the ninth, slapping a 2-run single to give the Warriors a 5-4 lead. While USC lost last night, they took 2 of 3 at Penn State over the weekend. Sophomore second baseman Avery Covarrubias earned Big Ten Player of the Week after notching 3 RBIs and multiple extra base hits to extend his hitting streak, which now sits at 8 games. The 23-13 Trojans will play a 3-game non-conference series starting tomorrow, facing the Gonzaga Bulldogs at Great Park in Irvine. The 17-15 Bulldogs are coming off a series win over Santa Clara. First pitch tomorrow at 6:30 p.m.
The weather is heating up nice this week for a beach day. The Women of Troy wraps up its regular season play against UCLA Beach Volleyball for its Battle of LA showdown. The Trojans got back on the winning side after its revenge early season loss to 4th-ranked Loyola Marymount in one of a trio of 3-set finishes. USC sophomore Zoe Henson and junior Madison White put the duel on ice with a 15-13 victory in the final set, giving all the positive energy for the Trojans as the ladies gear up to face the top seed Bruins. Coming into the Battle of LA showdown, USC is riding a 1-game win streak, a 23-7 overall record, 4-0 at home, while UCLA heads into the battleground 28-4 on the season, 10-0 at home sand. Last time out, USC beat the Bruins 3-2 in the opening weekend series at Queens Beach. The team hits the sand at Maples Beach in Westwood. First service set for Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific.
Well, that's all for ATVN Sports. From the Wednesday team, I'm Kasey Kazliner.
And I'm Dominique Williams. Now over to Sebastian for a real sweet treat.
It's definitely a sweet treat this week, Dominique. Up ahead on this week's Spotlight, we break down the latest crumble cookie flavors inspired by the Kardashians.
We have Courtney's flourless chocolate cake. Oh no. To me, it was absolutely disgusting. Like,
with the Heliante, with the Helion, with the Halle Berry, with the Halle Burton, with the Halle Brian James, with the Halle Cyrus.
And welcome back to our segment Spotlight, where we focus on entertainment news. Today we're focusing on crumble cookies.
Crumble launched a limited edition collab with the Kardashian-Jenner family. Each cookie is inspired by a different family member, but fans are not happy with Kourtney's florist chocolate cake cookie.
What are your thoughts on that, Dominique?
I mean, it is giving brownie vibes to me, and I'm not a brownie girly, but Kim's, I think it's the Snickerdoodle one.
Yes.
That one was giving like macadamia.
That
so
does look
that
good.
one I'm like looking forward to like try again because it was really sweet.
Yeah, I don't know about the flourless chocolate cake. It looks really gloopy and unappetizing. I heard that it's sweetened with applesauce, which is probably like contributing.
Oh no, that is not the vibe right there. Well, that's all we have for the entertainment spotlight from Kat and Dominique. Now back over to Sebastian and Daniella.
Another week, another sweet treat. Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Daniella Lake.
And I'm Sebastian Soto. For more coverage and for more sweet treats, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time. Good night.